they bringing money?
Welcome to breaking news. The head of there's a new head at the INEC approved by the Council of States. I mean, day before yesterday or so, Mahmood resigned or he retired. Whichever word you put it in, there's a leaving of the office. And Agbamuche from Delta State came on board. But as of today, there were permutations about a particular person, and today it's been set on record. Okafor,
yeah,
a new man approved by the Council of State. Yeah. Of course, name yet to be forwarded to the Senate.
Yet to be forwarded, but we can almost assume it's as good as gone. I mean, the Council of State unanimously, adopted him.
Sorry to cut you short. The Council of State are staff of the president.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
I wonder how they would have.
It doesn't really. Well, you are saying it that way. It doesn't quite matter. But Professor Joash Amupitan has no basis of not being approved by the Senate as it is. On the face of it, we don't have any information in the public terrain at this moment that might make me to think the Senate might not approve the professor. We are always asking about these fundamental questions. He's a professor of law. We're always asking about these fundamental questions. Why professors, all this, why, and none of them can be said to have delivered to maybe Jega tried at some point, no doubt about that. But for this one that is just removed, Mahmood, I don't think I can have any credit really for him based on the resources given to him, because he said that to whom much is given,
much is
expected. So a lot of, you need to go and look at INEC budget. Go and look at INEC budget. You understand that the kind of resources we put in there, 1 hour after the closure of election, all results should be known. As a matter of fact, the result in Delta State should have been known in Delta State. They don't even need collation.
Don't need to travel from Delta.
In my local government, the result in my ward should be known immediately. And I just hope I'm not too careful about a new professor being in the driver's seat. I'm careful about the law that we have being followed, and not exception being followed. The law we have, it was electronic transmission. Exception was when electronic transmission is not feasible, the INEC could use their discretion. But now they've converted the exception to the rule, and the rule has actually been abandoned. I'm hopeful this professor shouldn't start from there, because what our interest is encouraging people to vote. If people know that their vote will count,
they'll go and
vote. And I am not aware of any professor today who think people will clap for you if our collation is still carrying paper. If that is what this professor would do, nobody will clap for him. And if he does that between now and 2027 on any election, Anambra is coming, and they do something like that, they are going to be jeopardizing the trust people will have for 2027. And like I said, we had better preserve our democracy so that we can be professors in peace.
Philip, I'm worried, but the real worry is that since professors took over our electoral system, flaws and flaws and flaws, from announcement or result by professors, to coalition by professors, to head of the organization by professors, don't you think it's time that we use people with common sense and are patriotic than to be using professors?
Thank you very much. We have always said it here that it is not the law, neither the method of appointment, nor the title the people, what do you call it, toga of title they carry, yes, that matters. It is the integrity and the character of the persons that are appointed, which boil down to say that it's due to the strength of the institution, or it weaken the institution. Now, coming to Professor Josiah Amunat.
You are struggling calling them
Amupitan names. Counting that to this nomination, as it were today, there were speculations. Sometime last week, some persons brought out data on who that has head the electoral body in Nigeria.
Yes.
And two particular geopolitical regions were singled out that had not head the electoral body, and that is the North Central and the Southwest. They went further to go to tribe to say that the Yoruba-speaking tribe had never. And the city president happened to be from the Southwest and the Yoruba-speaking. So they look at it that if they go to the Southwest, because there was a rumor that a former Court of Appeal judge was being pestered. That
was a recalcitrant for bad judgment.
And people came heavily against that speculation. This name has also been in the rumor mob for over a week. The person of Josiah, let me stay with the name I can pronounce very well, and they zero on the North Central, and they look at the North Central, where are the Yoruba speaking? They are in Kwara and Kogi, and they happen to pick the one from Kogi. Don't forget, in applauding him in the National Council of State, they said it's apolitical. But how apolitical is he? Because it was also said that this man has been Senator Dilo Milani lawyer for the past 10 years. Can a lawyer who is handling a political matter for politicians for over 10 years be apolitical? That's the question I want to ask. How apolitical is he that he has been handling political matters? Now, coming to the issue of professors, let's go back to the history of INEC, those who have headed it. Where do we get the best result? Let's go to Whiskey. Let's go to Wosu, who handled the 1993. Was he a professor? Maybe. I don't know. He was a professor. Yes. But Whiskey was a retired chief judge.
Yes.
And look at the election he conducted. Yes, Wosu might be a professor, but look at his record.
And a popular person when he was.
Yes. The only time he didn't even got it wrong. He got it right to the point that he was. Remember that Wosu was under, the head of government there was military. And it was clear that he was under compulsion, under the Baron of God, that he had cancelled the June 12th election. Everything went well. Not the one that said, go to court. He never said so. Now, why do we need professor to always be the head of INEC? Is that the criteria? Because what they do, these professors, they are used to cheating in their schools. They aid students to cheat in their exams. And that's what they always bring into our election. Because all the returning officer, by reason of a professor being the chairman, all the returning officer will be all these professor friends. They are
not be able to buy cars.
Exactly. They will go and be the returning officer. At the end of the day, they become a millionaire overnight. Is that what we want for this country? Well, Professor Joash, we challenge you to prove us wrong. Go there and be a man of character and integrity. Go there and be a man with independent mind that Nigeria can trust. For as it is today, when we hear the name professor heading the electoral body, we're under shivers. We shiver because we have the same fears of where we are coming from. We were thinking by now they will bring somebody to not go with the toga of professor. Maybe the returning officer will not be professor. Maybe you will put the returning officer to be IT compliance, people who can say, okay, in my state we can organize the internet, and then no matter what it is, the result will be delivered because the money has been budgeted for you. That professor do not even know, who does not even know how to use the laptop, who doesn't know anything about internet, become a head of of INEC, and you want to be in the 21st century election. I don't expect much from him.
Okay, this man also is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Number one. Number two, is a DVC academics, University of Jos. He has stayed in Jos for all that you can count for. Number three, we should have thought that what the federal government should have done, if they really want to be transparent, is to draw up a list of, let's say, 10 to 20 people and begin to scale it down based on public opinion and the antecedents of these people that they draw up. But you just bring one candidate and he passes the exam.
You see, you can't be guilty of doing what the law empowers you to do. You cannot be guilty.
I agree with you.
Doing what the law authorized you to do.
Yes.
So the law authorized him to appoint whichever way. I've always felt and I've always said it, without being too academic about it, somebody that is going to participate in an election should not be the person that will appoint the umpire. It shouldn't be the person that will appoint the leader of INEC in our case, and even all the recs. It shouldn't be. But doing it now is not illegal because that is what our law says. And until we change that, there's not much that can come from them. But let's just say, okay, that these people have the minds of their own. Justice should not only be done, but justice should be seen as being done. The processes of conducting election should be transparent to the people. The people should trust it. I said it before, I'm going to repeat it. If there is any significant reform between now and election, if for any reason there is none, with the current law we have, a person that has character and a person that puts the nation forward, a person that puts the democracy first, can still use what we have to deliver a transparent election using mandatory electronic transmission of results. And in less than 1 hour of completing election across all Nigeria, everybody would have gone around, everybody would have seen it, because it will be displayed just immediately as the results are trickling in. Everybody is seeing it, it's updating, everybody is seeing it. Until you do that, there is no transparency you are going to show to people that they will clap for you. And with the way, because the technology is not helping them. The technology is improving too quickly by the day for you to tell somebody to start carrying paper. Election they finish in Amupitan's village in Kogi until they start carrying what's it called, with a mobile police escort all the way to Wokoja, and you got that they say bandit is blocking the road.
Or fire burn the road, or they dug the road,
or a trolley fell on the road.
And let's just pray Yabelo won't go back again as a governor. And dig the road that nobody could
Natasha
pass. So you imagine that. So nobody's going to accept that. I'm not too careful about the qualification of being a son. Let me tell you, we were in this country when 29 son was hired to defend the president who was asked to present WAEC certificate.
WAEC.
Simply show the WAEC certificate. Instead of show the WAEC certificate, it became cheaper for you to hire 29 sons. And those 29 sons went there to defend him. Are they the sons you are
There's nothing wrong for the son going there to defend.
I'm not saying whether wrong or right.
Well, it's business for them.
So we shouldn't say because they are son, they have occupied the template of righteousness.
Yes.
Because they are businessmen who are doing their job. Their job, which is law profession, and they have to defend any client. So you cannot use that to establish righteousness. That's where I'm going. That you are a son is not any metrics to establish righteousness.
That you have integrity or character.
That you have integrity or character. It only establishes your knowledge in law.
Or in that area, in your field of
endeavor.
And your ability to convince the judge.
Whatever your knowledge
right or wrong.
It's your knowledge in law.
It doesn't go in any way to
show you a man of character.
But I can understand Philip's side of the story.
Which side of
that
side
money is involved.
No, it's not. It's with me.
No. I know you're with him. But I can also understand the one that you're not with him. The money has to be collected. Being
a son does not wear the wind of righteousness.
Yes. No.
It does not.
You can be a son that is an evil man.
Yes. So that's just what we're saying. But the son establishes that you have certain recognized knowledge and respectable knowledge.
Philip, let me bring it to you. Now, Amupitan has come on board. Now, Amupitan has come on board, whether you like it or not. It's just the Council of State that has approved. It still needs to go to the Senate. Well, the Senate, as we speak, as of today, they have 2/3. APC has 2/3 majority in the House that can easily allow things to fly. Knowing this particular House that we have,
this is where
what are the expectations?
This is where I have problems.
What are the expectations of Nigerians?
The problem I have here is this: the Senate, the Nigerian Senate, what do we call it? The Nigerian Senate.
Not
It's
APC
not
Senate.
APC Senate. When we're talking about the National Council of State, it was specifically to be former head of state, former head of the judiciary,
Yes.
and the city president and the state governors. One may be, be tempted to ask how many former head of state were there in that meeting today. How many former chief judges were there at that meeting today? That apart, you now come to the Senate. Yes, with the speed with which the nomination goes through, now it's coming to the Senate. We are now saying that with the Senate today, what is my expectation? My expectation is for the Senate to do the needful. They are elected by Nigeria and not by APC to legislate on behalf of Nigeria and to carry out oversight function or on every work that the executive does on behalf of Nigeria to checkmate the executive. And this is one of the reasons why they were elected to be the senators. That
Do you think this particular senator can stand up to that?
This way I'm going. So this is a test for them because they are not representing any party but Nigeria. If they think otherwise, that this man does not have what it takes to be the head of the umpire body that will conduct election in 2027, they should prove it. All along, they've been seen as a rubber stamp Senate. This is they've been adjudged to the worst set Senate Nigeria has ever had. This one is a text for them. I don't think they will do the bidding of the APC nor that of the president, but they will do the biddings of Nigeria.
That's your thinking for them.
Exactly.
But they've not done otherwise in other matters.
So they need to prove me wrong.
They need to prove you wrong.
Let me tell you, during screening, you have certain questions that they will be asking. Would you transmit results electronically? You could be surprised no senator would, or in that committee or whatever screening committee would be ready or to ask that question, because even themselves do not want the electronic transmission. Even themselves do not want the electronic transmission.
Dr. Kalu, who's the Kalu of?
You remember one of your Kalu just and then Dume. Now that Ndume is wailing because it's not really.
No, Ndume, the former Senate president.
Even Ndume at that time. Lawan too.
Lawan, yes.
Yeah, Lawan was specifically saying that his village
It doesn't have network.
It doesn't have network.
It was not a shameful thing for a Senate president to say that his own village does not have network.
So you begin to wonder, even the people you are relying on to ask him some questions with which they can hold him to account are themselves not ready for things, transparent processes.
But okay, let me ask you. We have senators that are not in APC. Maybe PDP senator, other senators from other political party. Where is the voice? Suddenly, Abamo spoke up to the Senate president, touting of other political party. Do you think they've suddenly got their voice?
I don't think so. Without trying to discredit Abamoro's position, yesterday, I think I really love that.
Yes.
When he was telling the Senate president that Senator Chukwu Kelvin from Enugu East, came to the Senate by sympathy vote from obedient group movement. So that the story is for another day. Everybody was surprised. But at the end of the day, you realize that there is hardly any Nigerian politician that would be speaking without selfish interest. So, and it is difficult to say that they have found their voices because it was never really lost. They were the one that sat on it. I don't think this Senate or even Asiwaju's government have been gagging them like they present it.
Yes.
Because their voices were never really up. They are the one that sat on it ab initio. Let me tell you, do you know that not today, as at the time this National Assembly came on board, do you know that the oppositions were outnumbered APC?
Yes.
If the opposition,
I gave an analogy of
Labour, PDP, all could come together.
Yes.
They could have outnumbered.
And some voice of dissent from APC.
Even here, they could have, but they were never ready. So these people were never ready. You can't go and accuse somebody for shutting down somebody who has actually never been ready. But coming to this professor, like I started with, I don't think I've not seen anything that is beneath his record that should make them to disqualify him.
Or to approve him.
Or to approve him. I mean, any Nigerian who is shown capability, at his level should be approved. But I'm not
no. What I'm saying is that we've not seen any distinct things he's done.
Yeah, no,
spectacular that you say that he puts him in this prime position. For example, if we want to talk about presidency now, we say, oh, why can't somebody from the man that just left ADB, what's his name? Adewumi. Why would you come and contest as a president? I don't know if you understand. Because of his track record. You mentioned it several times here that when he was minister for agri,
everything was stable.
We saw what he did.
All we had was
but this one, we've not seen any distinct thing he's done.
Yeah, there's no distinct achievement, but going into his background, you also do not, I have not seen why he should be disqualified.
Yes.
I have not seen that, So it goes beyond disqualification. My interest is what the result that people get at the end of the day. Are people's votes going to count? Do people still have the prerogative to elect their leader? INEC and judiciary has been the stumbling block, and this might also happen to be an appendage of judiciary, being a son in some form. You understand? So, and these are the people that have held this country to ransom, where the people can't elect their leader. People will have a different vote. Then 3, 4, 5, 7 judges will end up determining who is the winner. And this also goes back to our law. I have always said that we can change our law such a way that the judiciary could have power to nullify election in certain area that is being contested. No judiciary, 3 people should not have power to elect a leader for the people. 3 people should not have power to say this is the winner. It is wrong. It is not democracy. All right, they can order the run of election in those areas that are being contested. The judiciary of this nation need to rise, and this man has been an offshoot of that. I don't know where we will get.
Philip, let's look at INEC generally. Most of the commissioners are nominated and selected by the same executive. Whichever way, sometimes we say they do the bid off because most of them are on political appointment. Do you think we are going to see an overhaul in INEC, number one? Then number two, do you think that he's going to be open to changes of electronic transmission of results? Do you think he's going to continue using professors that have failed as returning officers? What do you think he's going to do differently, or what will you advise that he does differently?
You see, talking about INEC and the appointment and the people being appointed, my position is this: whether it is the executive that nominates and then be clear by legislature for those who head INEC, does it translate to me that they should be bad head of the INEC, body? Because the truth remains that in the past, people have been appointed by the same executive. I've always said, and I'll continue to say it, it is not the law, neither the method of appointment, it is the persons. Talking about this appointment per se, and then going down to your question, you see, I always I've done it before today, and I'm doing it, I'm giving example of, Mike Guinea, and some of the people appointed alongside with Chega. You see that they were different, because some of those people, Jonathan picks into INEC. These were men, exactly, they were able to stand on their ground and do what they think is right, what the law empowered them to do. So I expected, Amupitan, what do you call it? Amupitan. As his credential shows, he's a political, and from the surface, he's a man of character and integrity, because for you to become a son in Nigeria, it means that you have track records. And he's been a lecturer all his life, and he had lived a quiet life, and he's been described as apolitical. So it's left for him to prove to us that, look, I have come to do the bidding of Nigeria as empowered by the law establishing INEC.
And not that of APC.
And not that of any person. So now, coming to whether there will be change in INEC, the question, remains on those to be appointed. If you look critically, yes, all the INEC commissioners today, most of their tenure will be ending in January, February. So it's going to be a new INEC. So the onus is on those coming on board, especially Amupitan, who is the beginning of the new era, to show that I have come to uphold the law. The question is not whether we are going to, we will only see change when those are appointed into office, irrespective of who nominate and appoint them, are ready to uphold the law. So it is not whether we are going to see the electronic transmission of result or whatever it is. No, that's not it. You see, that's why I kept saying that. Look, it is the implementer of the law. It's not the law. If those people are willing and ready to implement the law as established as required by the law, we see the result.
All right. Okay, for 30 seconds. Right?
Yeah. These days, if you want to calculate things, you can bring in stones, gather 3 stones, gather 4 stones, match them together and count them together. Nobody, no matter how the kind of integrity you have, nobody's going to clap for you because technology has moved. Do you understand? Your software is doing it. India has over 900 valid voters. And about 600 million valid voters, or close to 1 billion voters. Okay. About over 600 million voted. And in the day, they got their result. Do you know why? The technology, they use today's technology. No matter the integrity they have, if they are not using that technology, we are not going to be seeing them as having integrity. Your refusal to use that technology is a breach on your integrity.
All right, no, before you go, that is where we are saying. It's only a man that has integrity, who wants to also preserve his integrity, that will go with the technology of today. Because if Mahmood is a man of integrity, whether there is glitches or not, he will stick to the usage of the technology
and see to the end.
But because he's a man who lacks integrity and character, he went overboard. So that's what we're saying.
So our test of integrity now is your willingness to use the electronic transmission of results.
You know, irrespective of what happened or who is that.
The law we had was even enough. That was what they used for House of Rep. That was what they used in off-cycle elections. Yes. That was what they used for the Senate. It was in the presidential election that they didn't want to use it. And so far, in all other elections since 2023, they choose to abandon it. Lack of integrity.
Lack of integrity. So it is the integrity. Because the technology is always there.
But most of the time we normally see.
You know why they are baptizing the technology? It's for them to enable they carry out their dubious act.
But no, because most of the time we normally this INEC chairman always work with other national commissioners. Yeah. Is it only the voice of the national chairman or the whole system at INEC?
Yeah, I agree with you that there can be an exception. Let me tell you, just yesterday I was still listening to the video of what happened in Abia State. The woman said, if I perish,
I perish. That's Professor Oti.
He said they came with their money.
Yes.
They came with their intimidation. I say no, it is somebody that will do this. I just hope Professor Joash Amupitan is the person that will do this.
Well, like Philip said, maybe the system has also helped them to be able to be led astray very easily, because most of the professors, a long time, they can't change their cars, they can't feed well, and as a result, this opportunity comes once in a lifetime, and as a result, maybe that's why they take the opportunity.
Is what has to destroy the nation.
Not to support the system, not to pay Prof.
Yes.
A professor should earn very well.
Yeah.
A police officer should earn very well.
Yes.
But putting reason forward for committing
a crime is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Right.
It's not acceptable.
Okay, my two wonderful guests, colleagues, said that no reason is enough to not be patriotic. We stand here giving you all the insight into everything that happened in this breaking news. Landslide the place. Hit the button, the likes, share this video, and always stay with us. We'll be right back.